Get ready for an action-packed end to the month of June, full of big economic data prints and exciting catalysts. We'll get economic data every single day, culminating in the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, which can be coming through on Friday morning. Watch out for a few catalysts for semiconductors like Arm and Nvidia, as well as earnings plays like Carnival Cruise Lines and Nike. Let's dive right into the week ahead. Monday could prove to be an exciting day for one semiconductor company. It's the first day of Arm's inclusion in the NASDAQ 100. The SoftBank-backed chip name, which has only been trading publicly since September 2023, will also be part of the equal-weighted, tech sector, market cap-weighted, and adjusted market cap-weighted NASDAQ 100 indices. Another stock to watch out for on Monday is former meme darling Phunware, which is slated to appear at the Hospitality Industry Technology Exposition and Conference. Bit of a subdued start to the week when it comes to economic data, but we'll get the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index for June at 10:30 a.m., followed by the 3-month and 6-month bill auctions at 11:30. Watch out for NIO's annual general meeting, which is scheduled for 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Chinese EV space has been on watch in recent weeks due to the EU's plans to introduce tariffs for these vehicles. Let's see what NIO has to say at this event. Tuesday kicks off with an earnings report from Carnival Cruise Lines, which beat earnings per share estimates in its last report but fell short of revenue expectations. Despite inline EPS guidance for both Q2 and fiscal year 2024, analysts including UBS and JP Morgan raised their price targets for the stock following the report. Analysts are looking for Carnival to post quarterly revenue of $5.67 billion. Other names reporting before the bell include TD SYNNEX and recent small cap mover Airship AI. Keep an eye out for Chipotle Mexican Grill, which is set to start trading on a post-split basis as of Tuesday. The 50-to-1 split will make this name accessible for day trading, so there could be some exciting moves here. Some company events to be aware of on Tuesday as well. Baidu and BlackBerry are both scheduled to host their annual general meetings. Tons of economic data coming through this morning, starting with the Chicago Fed National Activity Index for May at 8:30. Some housing data on watch for 9, including the monthly and yearly changes in the S&P Case-Shiller home price and the house price indices for April. At 10 a.m., we'll get the CB Consumer Confidence print for June, which came in at 102 for the month of May. Also coming in at 10 are the Richmond Fed manufacturing shipments, and service indices for June. Then look at the Dallas Fed services and services revenue indices at 10:30. Fed's Cook is set to speak at 12 p.m., followed by the 2-year note auction and the money supply for May, both at 1 p.m. We're also expecting comments from Fed's Bowman at 2:15. FedEx is scheduled to report after the close, with analysts looking for $22.12 billion in quarterly revenue. The company announced plans for a $5 billion buyback during their last report, citing the success of its Drive restructuring program. FedEx beat EPS estimates and missed revenue expectations for fiscal Q3 2024, but both of those figures fell on a year-over-year basis. So let's see how they fared in the most recent quarter. More earnings on watch for Wednesday morning, including consumer foods brand General Mills and human resources provider Paychex. Analysts are looking for $4.88 billion in quarterly revenue from General Mills and $1.3 billion in revenue from Paychex. Another round of housing-related data coming through today. The new home sales and month-over-month change for the month of May. April home sales came in at 634,000 units, reflecting a 4.7% drop on a month-over-month basis. At 10:30, we'll get the EIA crude oil and gasoline stock changes. Some auctions to watch out for as well. The 17-week bill and the 2-year FRN auctions at 11:30 and the 5-year note auction at 1 p.m. We'll get a very interesting catalyst at 12 p.m. though, Nvidia's shareholder meeting. The stock has been on a roll as of late, with its recent 10-for-1 split allowing even more traders to get their hands on it. Regardless of what happens with the meeting, it'll be worth watching this stock throughout the day. Some more earnings rolling in after the bell, including Micron. The semiconductor standout has already popped more than 60% so far during 2024, with analysts including Cantor Fitzgerald and BofA Securities hiking their targets for the stock heading into this report. Micron well exceeded expectations for Q2 2024. Revenue jumped by 58% on a year-over-year basis, while net income of $793 million represented a strong recovery from the previous year's $2.31 billion loss. Let's see if this trend can continue for fiscal Q3, where analysts are expecting revenue of $6.37 billion. Other reports dropping after the bell include retailer Levi Strauss and occasional meme runner BlackBerry. Another round of earnings reports to get things started on Thursday morning from names like Walgreens Boots Alliance and McCormick & Company. Walgreens released a pretty interesting report for fiscal Q2 2024, which included an almost $6 billion charge related to its investment in VillageMD clinics. Despite this charge, the company posted significant EPS and revenue beats, but they also lowered the high end of its 2024 EPS guidance range. Analysts are estimating revenue of $35.98 billion for fiscal Q3. Even more economic data coming throughout the day, starting with a plethora of prints right at 8:30. These releases include the monthly durable goods orders ex defense, and durable goods orders ex transport, the GDP growth rate, price index, and sales for Q1, the advanced estimates for the wholesale inventories, retail inventories ex auto, and the goods trades balance, PCE and core PCE prices for Q1, corporate profits for Q1, real consumer spending for Q1, and initial jobless claims for the week ending June 22nd. Stay tuned for more economic releases just after the market opens at 10 a.m., when we'll get monthly and yearly changes in pending home sales for the month of May. At 10:30, we'll get the EIA natural gas stock change, and we'll get the Kansas Fed composite and manufacturing indices at 11 a.m. There's also a few auctions to keep an eye out here for: the 4-week and 8-week bill auctions at 11:30 and the 7-year note auction at 1 p.m. Watch out for a key retail earnings name coming through after the bell on Thursday: Nike. Despite beating EPS and revenue estimates for fiscal Q3 2024, with North American sales rising 3% on a year-over-year basis, the stock fell after its last report over concerns about growth slowdown in China. The athletic apparel maven is expected to report $12.96 billion in revenue for fiscal Q4. Let's see if Nike is able to meet these estimates. The economic updates start nice and early on Friday, with Fed's Barkin scheduled to speak at 6:40 a.m. Then at 8:30 a.m., we'll get the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the PCE price index. The personal consumption expenditure price index came in exactly in line with expectations for the month of April, rising by 0.3% on a monthly basis and 2.7% on an annual basis. The month-over-month core PCE, however, rose slightly less than expected in April. Let's see if this mild easing continues for May. Also scheduled for release at 8:30 are the month-over-month changes in personal income and personal spending for May. Another interesting number coming through at 10 a.m., when we'll get the final Michigan consumer sentiment and expectations prints for June. The preliminary consumer sentiment print saw the metric drop to a 7-month low, coming in at 65.6 compared to an estimated 72. Meanwhile, the preliminary 5-year inflation outlook rose to 3.1% compared to the final 3% reading for May. Let's see if either of these numbers improve for the final reading of the month. A few more releases to close out the week. We'll get the quarterly counts for corn, wheat, and soy stocks coming through at 12 p.m. At 1 p.m., we'll get the Baker Hughes rig counts. And that's the week ahead. Tune in with us at 8:30 a.m., Monday to Friday on tradertv.live.